Hey friend, welcome to my podcast, The Fit Soul. I'm your host, Amy Ramsey. In this podcast, we will be discussing soul-filled strategies to unleash your confidence, increase your energy, and all the things healthy lifestyle. If you're a Christian woman who is ready to reach your God-given potential, walk worthy of your calling with abundant joy and energy, girlfriend, you are in the right spot. I mean, you only have one life to live. You might as well maximize it. Buckle in, and thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome back to the Fit Soul Podcast. My name is Amy Ramsey. So excited you're here, and I'm really excited about this topic of conversation today. I have to say, I love goals and love when a new quarter is here to establish and reset and refocus on big goals, short-term goals. Oh my gosh, I literally geek out on goals, achieving them, and the science behind behavior and why we do what we do and how do we improve and become better. So October is around the corner. It's next week, and I am really excited to share with you 3 things that I want you to know that you can have. If you implement them right now, you will finish this year stronger. And it's usually by this time of the year, you have no idea what your goals were that you set on New Year's Day, that really you didn't even think about it that hard. You're like, oh, I need to do this. Okay, great. And you haven't really probably looked at it since. Oh my goodness. When you start to live your life really assessing and in this place of awareness, it changes everything, and it helps you to define better where you want to go, assess what skills you need to get there, how do you need to improve, where do you want to be, what's the gap, what are you missing, and put a plan together. And goals just really help give legs to dreams. They do. But it requires awareness and getting off autopilot. So I want to give you 3 things today that will help you finish the year stronger. And I'm addressing this, by the way, thank you. I think I forgot to say that. I'm so sorry. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in week after week. If you're brand new to the podcast, so excited you are here. My name is Amy Ramsey. So I'm approaching this, first of all, from the perspective of a Christian and how important it is that we live our lives like stewarding the time well and not squandering time, right? And it's almost the norm and an average not to really be contemplative or thinking through living our lives and stewarding it well, every day being a gift. And so I hope this podcast will help maybe just recenter, refocus, recalibrate you to that. We're not promised tomorrow. We have no idea. And man, it is some uncertain times. And it's really important for us to think about this and live those lives of impact, which means that we're in a place of improving, becoming, evolving, moving forward in action. And the other place I want to approach this perspective from is I'm a certified high performance coach. And I want to share with you some habits that are needed for you to move that needle forward and not skate to the end of the year, not just barely get to the end of the year, but conscientiously creating some bold moves now that could shift and change your year altogether. So with that being said, so excited that you are here. And I want to share something that I want to share with you a story. Let me start. It's story time, children. Let me tell you this little story. I didn't start running until I was 40 years old. I hated running. Now, I was in the fitness industry. I was super fit. I worked out a lot, but I didn't. In fact, I could barely run. I could barely breathe. I would, run a mile or two, and dear gosh, I thought I was going to die. Couldn't get enough oxygen in my lungs. But at age 40, I decided to run a half marathon, my very first one ever. Now, so let me just tell you about this story. It was a terrible experience. The fact that I ran any more half marathons after that was a miracle. But somehow or another, I guess I became hooked. And over the next 10 years, I ran 25 half marathons. 25! And I just started learning a lot from running. Randy and I would run a lot of 5Ks, 10Ks, and it was like a healthy hobby for us. We just did it a lot. I'll be honest with you. After I ran that 25th one, I thought, oh my gosh, I may never run again. And I've not run another half marathon since I've turned 50. So we'll see. I've learned to never say never. But one of the things that I learned in running was how to pace myself. And new runners often don't know how to pace themselves for a longer race. So you train for these events. Well, in 5Ks, so a 5K is about 3.1 miles. Most people that are in shape can do a 5K. Most people that are, that like exercise regularly can jog or run a 5K or jog, walk a 5K. Well, I want to tell you about one particular 5K that I'll never forget. So in all of my races, what I learned to do was just try to keep my pace, my race, but to set a pace. And you typically end up with like a group of people that are running about the same pace. After several miles, you settle into a solid pace and you're kind of with the same group. And so it was always my goal to stay within the same group. And in my mind, we were all in a race. And at the end of the race, I wanted to beat those people. Now, I've never won a race that I've run. That's never been my goal. My goal was always to finish. And I feel like the biggest, amazing, bad, because I crossed the finish line every single time. So all that to say, I'm always racing the people that are around me. And at the end, when we start to get closer to that finish line, you know what I've done? I've got some gas in the tank, baby. I might be short, but I'm fitting to go. And so off I go at the end, and I give it all I've got. And I've learned through those races when to push the accelerator down and to give it all I've got. Which leads me to a funny story. We were running the world's longest 5K. It's in New Orleans. It's a race for Steve Gleason. He was a Saints player and has ALS. So this race is a fundraiser for his foundation. And his number was number 37. So this race was, instead of 3.1 miles, it was 3.7 miles. Which honestly is not that much longer, especially knowing that I was running half marathons, 13.2 miles or 13.1. Yeah, 13.1. So anyhow, we were running this race. It was in New Orleans, Louisiana in the summer. And a lot of y'all know right there, holy hot humidity. It was so hot and humid. We were off, we're running the race. A lot of people were walking it. It was on this the race route was kind of weird. I can't explain it. Anyway, we get to the end of the race. I'm with my little people that I'm competing with. They don't know I'm competing with them, but I know I'm competing with them. Again, I saved some gas at the end and I put that accelerator down. Well, listen, I misjudged how far away that finish line was and the heat and humidity. So as I'm running, I'm giving it all I got. Somebody else picked up their pace too. And, that competitive spirit comes in, and I'm giving it all I've got. I kept pushing. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to be sick. But I go, 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 go. And I've never done this before. I've never done this since. I literally crossed the finish line. I moved over out of the way, and I don't mean to sound gross, but I vomited right there. I mean, just in front of God and everybody. And I thought I was going to pass out. I think I was pretty close to passing out. And something instinctual in me, I think it was the heat. I was way overheated, and it was so hot outside. As I was looking for a cool place, which was not easy to find, I threw my shirt off and had on my sports bra. I had on my running shorts. I threw off my socks and my shoes, and I laid out on the concrete. It was like my body needed to try to cool off as much as possible. I think I must have beat Randy on this race. He came and found me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." And I was not. Honestly, I was not okay. I ended up okay, but in that moment, I was not okay. And I just heard somebody say something about a bag of donuts, and it was like my body knew I needed some sugar or something. And come to find out, this is hilarious. That bag of donuts was the band that was playing in the after party, the post-race party. And so all I did was I wanted a bag of donuts, but they ended up playing, and they were awesome. I was fine. Everything ended up being fine. But I want to share with you, I want to talk to you a little bit about finishing your race strong, finishing 2024 strong, and taking your foot and mashing the gas pedal a little bit, and then a little bit more, and getting really clear about what you want for the rest of this year. One of the things that I am doing in my coaching community, Walk-Worthy Mentorship, is we do this collectively as a group. And we are going through a curriculum and a devotional and doing several things to finish strong. I am, as their mentor, as their guide, help to give them frameworks, to give them tools, to help them move forward with the things that matter most in life. And I want to extend to you a special invitation right now to come join us. You can go to the show notes, or you can go to walkworthy.thefitsoul.com and join us. How you are moving forward and how you are thinking about your life and the impact that you can make in this life is everything. And the Bible calls us to be courageous and to be strong. And so as we finish this year, I want to encourage you to reset your goals. And this is what we're doing together as a group. And I'm inviting you, if you are an ambitious woman, if you love the Lord, if you want to walk worthy of your calling and be healthier and stronger spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, these are your people. This is your group. And in this group, we will reset our goals and recalibrate our lives regularly, refocus weekly, and build habits that we need for resilience, for courage, and for energy together. And we do this with a faith focus, with the Bible as our center. In fact, I was reading through Acts. I think I shared that on the last podcast. I've been reading through Acts. And I just love this scripture. I came across this in Acts 20:23. Paul says, "So that I may finish my race with joy." That I may finish my race with joy. I love that we may finish our race with joy and be of good courage. So I want to give you three things that I know that you have to do to push yourself, to push your foot down on the gas tank to finish strong. And it's not about beating other people, but it's about you becoming, evolving. It's about you versus you. It's about me versus me. And finishing strong requires three powerful things. And these are three things that I'm inviting you to do, encouraging you to do, so you can move faster, forward, quicker, evolve into the healthier version, the stronger version, the more resilient version, the more spiritually mature version of who you are. So you can 10x your life. Even if you're like, hey, I'm doing pretty great. I'm doing pretty awesome. Amazing. How can you 10x where you are? If you started implementing this right now, where would your life be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months from now? Okay, so here's the three things that you have to have. Number one, you've got to have a commitment. It's more than just setting a goal. It is a daily commitment to excellence, pursuing excellence. It's demanding more of yourself. It's demanding of yourself to stop settling for average or even below average when you know there's way more in your potential. It's a commitment to show up, to stay up, to refuse to quit. It's a commitment to refuse negative thinking from keeping you down and breaking free from limiting beliefs. It's a commitment to staying present in your journey. It's deciding every single day to demand the best of yourself every single day. Commitment. You got to have that commitment. Every single day, I send the ladies in my mentorship, which this is what I'm inviting you to join, faith activation text to move them forward. It starts with a Bible verse, and it is an encouragement, motivation, and a challenge, which is exactly what this is right here, is a challenge. All right, number two, you got to have energy. You need energy to push forward. Like that race, at the end of the race, it requires physical energy. Energy that comes from strength, energy that comes from deep within. It's an energy that's generated by focus, by understanding where I'm going. It's an energy that is removing the distractions. It's an energy that is disciplined, and it's creating momentum. It's an energy that is moving you forward towards growth. It's not passive, it's active, it's intentional, and it's going to drive you forward. And number three, the third thing that you need is effort. Don't you wish things would just happen and they wouldn't require effort? But that's not the way that life works. Growth requires effort. You can't wish for change. You can't dream it up. You can't hope for the best, wish for the best. Maybe things will change. Nope, they won't. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You've got to put in the work. The more effort you pour into this journey, the greater your results. The more effort, write that down, the more effort you put in, the greater the results. I coach people, and oftentimes when it comes to like wellness coaching, and the outcome and the goal is a healthier lifestyle and fat loss as well. And sometimes people get discouraged, and we'll start going back through, okay, here's the things that we had agreed to do that you need to do to get your health on track. Have you been doing this consistently? Well, no. Okay, with your nutrition, are you doing this, X, Y, Z? Well, most of the time. Okay, are you doing this to manage your stress? These are the things that we talked about. Well. Listen, you can't be disappointed by the effort you're not putting in. Come on now. I know I'm preaching here, but listen, this is where the rubber meets the road right now. So I want to encourage you and push you to get intentional right now, goal-oriented right now, refocused, recalibrated. You have to have commitment, energy, and effort. And I want to extend this invitation again. The doors are open right now for the Walkworthy Mentorship. You don't want to miss this. And I would love to be your coach and to see you on the regular. We have an incredible rest of the year planned for a spiritual growth journey that's going to help challenge you and hold you accountable. And then also, we're getting ready right now to reestablish 3 goals for the end of the year. And then I'm going to walk this group through exactly how to do that with a structure, accountability, and support, with Jesus at the center of it all, for a kingdom purpose, for a healthier version of you, a stronger version of you, a more resilient version of you, an emotionally and mentally more resilient version of you. It's powerful what's happening to the lives of the ladies that are in that mentorship. So thank you for being here today. You can, again, if you're interested in joining us, check out the link in the show notes, or it's walkworthy.thefitsoul.com. We would love to have you join us. Girlfriend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm so honored you come back every week and that you share the Fit Soul podcast with your friends and family. Every time you share my podcast on Instagram or Facebook, I do a little happy dance. Make sure you subscribe to the Fit Soul podcast, where you'll never miss an episode. You can go to Podcast, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode release. And just know, I truly love bringing you excellent content and great guests to provide you motivation and faith inspiration to help you walk worthy. And one of the ways you can help me is to go and leave the Fit Soul podcast a review. If you have just a moment, would you please go over and leave a review for the Fit Soul podcast? Thank you again. I love you. And here is your reminder. You are worthy. Until next time. Bye-bye.